Hello, everyone. It is Mr. Judge here. I know, where have I been? Well, let's just say life gets incredibly busy. Regardless, I feel like coming back onto YouTube, and in this video, I want to express my criticism of a common name on YouTube known as Dr. Umar Johnson. For those perhaps unaware, Umar Johnson is a self-proclaimed Prince of Pan-Africanism, among other mostly false titles. Now, I want to make my stance on Umar completely clear. He is a terrible person, and among his many faults, including the fact he is a fraud, a racist, a scammer, and even a deadbeat father who has raised none of his own biological children. I also think it's imperative that people realize that he has scammed the black community for millions of dollars in the past 14 years on a school he never intends to build. The very concept of the school is borderline racist as well, since Johnson's selling point for the school has been that it will be an all-black school, meaning it would be a school that champions a form of systemic racism. This is the following example of Umar Johnson's racist rhetoric.
You don't have a single black community in these United States that operates independently as a Black Wall Street, meaning there's no place I've been to in America, nor that I know of, where we own our own bank, our own school, our own hospital, and our own supermarket. You need a bank to invest in the people, a hospital to save the people, a supermarket to feed the people, and a school to teach the people. And nowhere in this country do you find those four things in the same area.
First of all, America actually has plenty of schools that are owned by black individuals. Umar is intentionally making a false argument by essentially saying, I haven't seen any independent black-owned banks or schools, therefore blacks don't own anything on their own. And this is a classic case of deliberate misinformation on Umar's part.
As a matter of fact, it is very easy to destroy Umar Johnson's baseless arguments. It is called a quick Gemini search, and you will find that, as a matter of fact, statistically speaking, black schools and banks in particular make up less than 1% of private schools and banks. Now, while that does make a good argument for there being a lack of a strong presence of black ownership, Umar said out of his own mouth that he never saw black-owned businesses or schools. Do you see the manipulation? Umar takes a baseless claim that he knows his supporters will neither fact-check nor know how to fact-check, and then win them over with this victimhood mentality rhetoric based on true past suffering and oppression to subtly oppress others for his own racist benefit.
In the same area. And then when I look particularly at Cleveland, I find it interesting that this is one of the few black cities where we are in the numerical majority. 47% of the 350,000 residents of the city of Cleveland are black. 37% are white. And even though we predominate numerically, we are still disenfranchised, economically exploited, and politically oppressed. Absolutely unacceptable.
Now, there is some truth to this statement. Cleveland, Ohio is notorious for struggling with racial equality, and particularly voting rights. However, Umar Johnson is not saying this because he actually cares for black people. He is saying it because it is a crowd pleaser. Johnson has on many occasions been indifferent to and/or even advocating harm for black people.
Of our children, but some of our children are so far gone that we're going to have to put some of them to sleep in order to take back the neighborhood. Some of y'all don't want to hear that because you don't live in reality. But I'm telling you, as a psychologist, I'm not going to be able to psychologize all of them on the corner. Some of them going to sleep for good!
What a lot of people don't realize about Umar is that not only has he done nothing to help his fellow black Americans, but he has also exploited them, hypocritically lectured them on values he himself does not follow, and as you just saw, is willing to advocate for the destruction of any black person who does not fit in his racist ideology. Quite frankly, you might as well call him the modern-day Black Hitler of our era. Now, I know there are probably more than a few here listening who would argue he just wants to build a school, or he is trying to uplift the black community from white supremacy. And to those people, I offer this challenge. Name me one school, family, or project this man has helped in the last 15 years that constitutes a positive change to the black community. And no, attending meetings and giving lectures do not count. His lectures prove nothing, as they are riddled with misinformation and racist rhetoric. I mean for you to name me one thing he has done out of the millions of dollars that he has essentially defrauded from the black community that can be said impact the lives of his supporters or the general black community in a positive manner. If you can't name even one time, then we have a serious issue here, ladies and gentlemen. That means you are supporting and defending a fraud. Wake up, people. Wake up. You've been stuck in the Umar coma for too long at this point.
I think with this, we will end this video for today. Umar Johnson, you are a disgrace not only just for America or your family, but anyone unfortunate enough to be associated with you. You had a great opportunity in your life to help your fellow man and uplift many people. Instead, greed, hate, and selfishness has turned you into the black community and yourself's worst enemy. You will never build a school, uplift anyone, or even go anywhere in your life. You will forever be a scammer hopping from one train of donations to the next. I hope that when karma inevitably catches up with you and you find yourself alone and no money, you will see the horrible actions you have done to yourself and those who would have helped you. Like, comment, and subscribe. This court is adjourned.